This is the second year that the City of St. George has held a public preview of its budget prior to final public hearings. This year, the city planners put forth a business plan, making sure all aspects of needs in the city are met.
We want to be as transparent as we can in our budget, and I think we do an excellent job. If you read through our budget, I always call it Budget for Dummies because it's an easy read.
Estimated at around $523 million, the City of St. George's fiscal year budget for 2026 is lower than last year's budget by about $4.2 million. That's because new facilities funded in the previous years will be completed this year.
New City Hall that will be done by the end of the year, our main fire station, Station 1, where the Flood Street Chapel was. It's a little behind schedule, but it's supposed to be done in July.
The budget is split into general fund and other services.
The general fund is the fund that funds the majority of services that our residents rely on every day, whether that's police, fire, 911 dispatch, street and traffic signal maintenance, parks and trails maintenance, the golf courses, the airport, and all the support departments that help provide support to our frontline departments for our residents. And then the other part of our budgets are other funds, and that's really made up of our electric service, our water service, our sewer service, and all of our major capital projects like brand new streets, brand new sewer lines, brand new parks, those types of things.
One major investment plan this year is for the new airport tower.
We actually have the airport traffic control tower in this year's budget. It's about a $17 million project, and that'll make huge improvements for the safety of our passengers at our airport, as right now they're actually being controlled through the LA traffic tower, and so it'll be a huge enhancement.
It's a contract tower that we're in partnership with the FAA on, and what that means is if we build the tower, they'll staff it for us.
Warren says the new tower and expansion of the runway will also allow for larger aircraft in and out of the airport.
We're also actually working on a terminal expansion. As I'm sure our residents have noticed, our airport is busy. We are actually breaking records almost every month for enplanements, which are the number of people that are riding on our planes. And so there is a huge demand for increased service.
So for the last 3 months, we've been trending over 36,000 passengers a month using the terminal, which is I think right now where we're sitting right now, I think we're in an 11-month high.
We have like over $30 million in investments planned at our airport this year.
And due to the increase in population and traffic, new roads and infrastructure will also be key to safety in transportation.
1450 South Extension, or AKA George Washington Boulevard, that's the segment that we're trying to get from River Road, approximately here in this location, all the way down next to St. James Park, across the river, across Virgin River, and tie it into Crosby Way, which is the corridor for George Washington Boulevard that ties into I-15.
That's a significant project. It's over $20 million is what's included in this year's budget for that. We also have the Gap Canyon Parkway project.
The next big roadway is Gap Canyon Parkway that will tie Sunbrook Drive at the very end of west end of Sunbrook Drive with the new DeVario subdivisions.
Substantial growth on the south end of St. George is also creating need for better transportation for services and businesses.
I mean, Desert Color is just one of the 3 areas on that south end that are really growing. Desert Canyons, the White Sands area, and Desert Color.
With just over 900 full-time employees, the city is growing by leaps and bounds. And in order to support that growth, Meyer says most increases in personnel will be in public safety.
About 17 new positions that have been proposed in this year's budget, taking our total workforce to about 897 full-time employees, for somewhere around 1,300 to 1,400 employees overall when you include part-time employees. The major investments this year in personnel are in our public safety area. About 9 of the 17 new positions are public safety. 5 of those are in our fire department, as you noted, and 4 of those in our police department.
And since the GO bond passed, Parks and Recreation also has plans to spruce things up.
And we have about $20 million in projects proposed this year for year 2 of the GO bonds. Some really exciting projects, including the major improvements at our Sun Bowl.
Enhancement in water facilities and treatment will also be key in this year's budget.
Now, one of the big ones we've been talking about the past few years is the Graveyard Reservoir. We feel like we're getting close to that one. We've had some hang-ups with some of our federal entities, And we do have that plan in the 26 budget to begin the construction of that project. In the 26 budget, we have about $9 million planned. That's an ultimately $15 to $20 million overall project. And so we are hopeful that we'll be able to start that this upcoming fall and break ground on that.
In total, the city budget is made up of 40 funds. State and city sales taxes, as well as tax generated from tourism, provides much of the revenue. The good news this year, there won't be an increase in property taxes.
We are actually the 5th largest from a population standpoint community in the state of Utah. And from a property tax burden standpoint, we are the 3rd lowest of the top 20 cities. And so we do a very good job, I feel, of stretching our taxpayers' dollars as far as they can go.
However, some things might slightly go up in price, like city golf fees and public utilities.
But there's a reason people want to be here. We have an amazing city. It's beautiful, it's clean, it's safe, and we just want to provide those basic core services that every city expects, and I think we're doing a fabulous job at it.
Public hearings will be held at City Hall and the council chambers at 5 p.m. on Thursday, June 5th and 19th before the final budget is adopted. In St. George, Melissa Anderson, Community Education News.